Men have feelings too. You are watching and listening to the Now Apocalypse After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV Network.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Now Apocalypse After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV Network. On tonight's episode, we're talking about Ford and how he's torn between his relationship with Sev. We'll also talk about Carly and how she's doing interviews for new roommates, and she still tries to please her him clients. Yeah. And we'll also talk about Yulia and how he finds a quickie and a splash at his own job. Plus, we have our sex fun fact, our predictions, and so much more. But before we get into tonight's episode, let's introduce the panel here. I am one of your hosts here, Howard III. Sitting across from me is Shay Jones. How are you, Shay?
I'm feeling good. This is a fun episode.
It was fun. On the end, we have Nikki. How are you feeling, Nikki girl?
Hey, Howard, I'm okay. How y'all doing?
We doing good. I mean, let's get our overall thoughts on season 1, episode 4, The Downward Spiral. So, what were we thinking, Shay? I know you said fun. Is there anything else you're feeling about tonight's episode?
There's a lot, but that goes more into when we get in depth, because they know I have things to say about Yuli right now. Things and questions for you, sir. So overall, it was really good. I have now questions and concerns for this character. That's it, you know.
That's it. Okay. Nikki, overall thoughts about tonight's episode?
It was good. This was probably the first episode that I laughed out loud, like an actual guffaw.
I've never known how to say that word ever.
I guffawed in this episode, so it was fun. It was really good. Yeah.
Yes.
Super excited to talk about it.
Loved it. Yeah. Tonight's episode, I don't know, it was a little bit all over the place for me, but I was like, okay, I liked it. Even though I was kind of lost at some parts, but.
What parts?
I don't know, the whole with Severine and Seb and just her and her when she was getting followed and then the man across the street. I don't know what's going on in that whole situation.
Well, it has to do with her job. So we know she's doing some sketchy alien-like type undercover
biochemical weirdness.
Area 51 type things.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and she technically was being followed for a second, and that's making her, I think, question... I don't think question what she's doing, but just make her more cautious.
And you saw all the security that she had just in her apartment. She comes into her apartment, locks the door, and then puts a code in after she's in and locks the door.
And Adele vault.
I think Sev is whatever she's doing in her day job.
Yeah.
Is high security. So I don't know who dude was across the way, but first of all, he was cute.
Okay.
But he was watching her creepily, and
I don't know why every time I expect when she would come back through her thing, he would disappear or something. Yeah. But no, he just stayed there. Yeah. And first of all, if that's me, I'm turning off the you wouldn't even get to the blinds first. My blinds would already been turned, sir.
Exactly.
Why were you waiting for him to just either go away, look away, and turn on his blinds? No, I want to be in control right now. Bye. You can't see him. You can't see my apartment no more.
But it's far creepier to have him do it. Which
I
is
know.
why
I get
thought,
it.
I see that.
It's gonna be good. I cannot wait to see if that guy and the car following her connected. Obviously, right? So
Definitely.
I cannot wait to see. I feel like they pack so much into just a quick half-hour show. That when are we there's too much to unpack in 30 minutes. So, I need more story about whatever's happening at Severine's job. What do she do?
Okay.
Some top secret 007 things.
I mean, while we're already talking about it, let's talk about Ford now. I mean, he's torn with his relationship. We saw last week how Sev was like, oh, I slept with my ex-man and that was a whole good time. But now he's so worried and so mad about it. He works himself out to the core when he goes to the gym, goes crazy over that.
With that crazy sex workout montage.
Right?
Well, I think it was just like what he was thinking of was happening, like while he's working out, Sev is still with Mustafa, and like that's making him work out hard because he's angry. I think it's awesome to see a guy who's a straight character show so much emotion and and still be masculine. And I think that's what they're doing with the show is very brilliant. To show it's okay, you can still be a man but still have feelings. It's totally fine.
I can see that, yeah.
And it's not toxic masculinity like working its way in there, and I love it.
I agree. I feel like with Ford being so kind of emotionally available, we're getting to see a version of dudes or bros that we don't usually get to see. Like, because I think Ford would be like a bro. If you know, like, I can imagine him like at a keg party in college, right? So like, and I like that we're getting to see the sweet, sentimental bro guy.
And I love like the fact that he's so open, but I also want to be like, Severine, do you know how hard it is to find one man who wants to be monogamous?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
LA,
like
right?
in LA, who wants to be monogamous, who doesn't want to sleep around?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on.
She don't even know what she got.
If you don't want him,
don't.
send him to my house.
Okay. He a little simple, but
I mean, I can work with that. He's moldable, okay? You can mold that. I'm just
Oh, Lord. Yes. You can
just saying, you know.
come on over to the house. But
Like, send him my way. I need a straight guy who's who just wants to be in a monogamous relationship with you. Is not who doesn't care about sleeping around. That's not his deal.
Right.
You know how hard it is to find that in LA.
Although I have to say though, like for real, so when Ford has his emotional moment with Severine explaining, you know, how he was hurt, that was a turn off. And Severine was obviously turned off by it, right? She was obviously like, ew. But it was slightly less sexy than I don't know, maybe I'm just so conditioned to think of like, you know, men as these hard, like sort of, you know, the whole toxic masculinity thing. So like that's what we think of as sexy. And so when you have this man who's being like just an absolutely emotionally available person, part of me was like, you a punk. Which I hate to think because I want to be in my
that's where we
feminist.
disagree.
Yeah, in my feminist universe where everyone of every gender is allowed to be who they are. I want that to be okay, but I come from old school, and a little bit of me was like, whatever, Ford.
I actually liked it. I think that was sexy. Then I'm weird. So I like that, the fact that he was so open, because it's so hard to see guys to be open in this day and age. So for me, that is now sexy when somebody's that open and just like, I just want to be with you. Though I understand how you feel, and we should have talked about this, but this is where I'm at now. It made me feel so bad. Most guys won't do that. They'll either cheat on you to like, and that's how they get their point across, and that's not okay either. So for me, that was a turn on to me. Obviously, she wasn't for it.
Also, I'm in a relationship, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, you know,
I'm fine, so whatever.
I know I didn't mind him talking about his feelings, but I was kind of like, maybe you shouldn't talk about them. Like in the beginning, I was like, okay, Ford has to do this because it's Ford. I mean, he's a whole other character. But then I was like, you know what? This is low-key a turn-off. Like, you sitting there having your sponsor, and that's
the sponsor was the turnoff. I think that
The sponsor was extra.
if that was just extra for like no
reason.
I mean, he was funny, and like the whole support group scene was hilarious. And I think there may actually be those type of groups around the LA area. And if you're in that, awesome. But that's a little much.
It's a little much. I mean, the only reason he got to the sponsors because Ford decided he wanted to go to this group called, it was like
Circle
Jerk group,
which like should mean something totally different. I feel like they should really rethink that title. But
they liked it for some reason. It's just a bunch of guys, which I wasn't mad about. A bunch of guys sitting around talking about their feelings. Okay, that's cool. Come together, safe place, talk about that. But when he got to it with Sev and then the sponsor and then opening up about his feelings, that's the only part I had a problem with. I said, I don't need your homeboy, your sponsor, sitting right there. And then you saw how the sponsor said, well, if you need a third person to join you guys in the bedroom, because Sev said, let's open it up and we can probably choose together. He's creepy self was like, oh, well, let me come up in there.
Yeah,
no.
George. Yeah, no.
No.
George, the sponsor, was icky and like, yeah.
Creepy.
So you don't want that in your conversation. And you have, and I do admire the fact that Ford realized he needed support with this whole, thing going on with Severine, but bringing your sponsor
On FaceTime.
to FaceTime with you when you talk to your girlfriend, don't do that.
I think my favorite part about the entire scene was Yuli's face. Like, as he's taking everything in and just, kind of just being in a little cocoon, but also trying to support Ford in his decision to attend this. And then also I'm saying, oh no, we're not together. I mean, I am, but he's straight. So now that we have that figured out, here's a real problem that we're dealing with today.
Yeah.
That was funny.
It was funny. And the whole, I'll tell you in the car.
Oh, yeah, because he wasn't
Ford
going to understand
didn't
it,
get
He didn't get it.
whatsoever.
Bless his heart.
It was actually better to say, I'll tell you in the car instead of trying to explain it, because I think
Yes.
it would have like just sent everything off track if he would have got explained to that right in that situation.
Agreed.
Right. I would have loved to see that conversation though. Like,
I would
the car
too.
conversation, because Ford's just so dumb. It's like, Ford, we love you, but you just dumb. Like, I don't understand. Very basic.
Shout out to Neil, the character who played Neil. First of all, his IMDb page has almost 400 credits.
Oh wow.
He's been in this business for a long time.
Oh yeah,
and
he's
amazing.
like a legend.
Yes.
A legend among character actors. Yeah,
Definitely. And I love when I see him. I don't know what it is, like, especially when you actually start noticing them, you're just like, yes. Speaking of character actors, Drew, who did the audition scene with Kelly, who played Carly. First of all, that is not how real auditions go whatsoever, in case anybody was wondering.
right. You do not get like 800 tries.
First of all, they don't have the kind of time to give you that kind of focus. Maybe they'll let you get through the scene first, like, oh, make these changes if they really do like you, and then you're done. But you're not gonna go through like, oh, I need you to be more dramatic, 'cause, like, I need the nothing, but also I need the dramatic. If you can just be in the middle, we'd be great. First of all, Drew is an amazing character actor. Like, when if you've ever seen him perform, it is the most amazing thing ever. So the fact that he's actually playing this reader who's giving the most, like, legit, obviously a real way of what readers do when you're in audition, they most likely won't give you anything. They will give you so dry. He was saying it very fast too, like, okay, Carly, we're all gonna die, bye, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about the consequences. I think she was reading for Fast and Furious 12. I think that's what we're going for. She looked good.
She did look good.
That's all I say to that scene. Them shoes were lit.
Those shoes.
Come on.
Oh my god, I loved her bra. I'm not gonna lie, that pink bra was everything to me.
Yeah, I think whoever is styling Carly should win an Emmy Award, because she wears the craziest stuff, but
Yes.
she pulls it off so
Yes.
well.
Like that pink fur when she was like her and you were
Right?
walking in that pink fur. You're just like, somehow that shouldn't work, but it does.
Just hanging out
Right.
at Lake Balboa in a pink poofy jacket. Yes, I'm here for it.
Okay.
And those platform ridiculous sandals with the big
those are-
poofy things on them.
yeah.
I want them.
Oh my god.
I agree. I want Carly's. I love it.
Yeah, her aesthetic is
thing.
beautiful. Love
It's
it.
just wonderful. I mean, with Carly, let's even talk about how she was interviewing people to be her new roommate. I mean, as we saw last week's episode, her old roommate, I think Amanda or
Amber, yeah.
ended up moving out last minute. So here's Carly trying to interview all these random people. A girl who had no job but had 32,000 followers on Instagram. And I was like, girl, does that equal money? Is that promotion?
I'm like,
She's
if you're
trying
talking
to
about
monetize
YouTube, maybe I could talk and flow with you.
Right.
But we're talking about Instagram. I don't know if that tracks.
Exactly. And she's just going through all these people. I mean, it just sucked, but it was like, it's real life, but it's like...
And the best line from that to me was like, she said, she's talking to Yuli and she says, finding a roommate is like extra casting for a David Lynch movie. And that is exactly what it is when you're trying to find a roommate in LA. And the crazy people that come through, yes, that was a beautiful moment of television.
What got me the fact that she was in like a pencil skirt, the white blouse, with some glasses. I kind of want to be like, who you trying to impress? Like,
I mean, trying to play the part.
Like, I got it. I was just like, but okay. And then she's drinking the giant bottle of wine. Like, she's like, the day could not get worse, and now it's getting worse. And then we saw Daphne again. She popped up, the girl who had the threesome with Severine and Ford.
Oh, was that her?
That was her.
I did not.
She was like,
her.
but I'm like, and I'm also that would have me thinking. So Daphne, while you're interviewing for a roommate, don't you got 3 boyfriends? You trying to tell me you can't live with your 3 boyfriends?
She said it'd be too much business with pleasure.
I didn't realize that was the
I
same
didn't even see
woman.
her.
Yeah. Because she was like, I am into like terrorist acts, like a lot of crazy stuff, and I was just like,
and then she was
ain't that the
referenced
same-
again in the episode. Yeah, you're right.
yeah. So
Well,
I was
look
just
at
like,
Daphne.
okay, her name's Jordan Chang.
Oh, hey, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
So yeah,
Work it, girl.
she's killing Daphne
Do
right now.
Do the ding thing.
I know, killing it.
But that was some crazy I wouldn't even brought some people to my house. I'm like, let's meet at the coffee shop, so you don't know where I live, so you don't have you cannot get in here.
That's true.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna like look for roommates, do it in a public area, so that way there's a little bit of privacy and safety for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because once they know where you live, they can just like, oh, well, I didn't get it, now I'm mad, and now I'm gonna comfort you, and now I know where you live.
Wow.
Just
that's
safety.
Scary.
I mean, and I guess she's making good money as being a cam girl too. Like she had some repeat customers that we saw. There was a new guy with the fetish of her peeing,
The guy Worm who wanted to watch her pee.
which is actually a thing. It's
Totally.
called piss play. It's a kink versus a fetish, mind you. There's a difference.
Educate him, Shay. Come on.
There's just a difference. If people like to, bring them together, there is a difference. But dude,
It was too much.
I would have just been like, maybe I would just did it, but I also would have maybe had like a water bottle like behind my back or something. It's like, do you hear it? Okay,
No.
yeah, you hear it, right? Yeah, it's a nice gurgling stream.
I do want to say though.
It's
She
nasty.
just fell out.
This is exactly what she said. I'm legit quoting Carly right now. That is really what she said
I
to the
remember
guy.
that.
I will
No.
replay that for you because she.
I don't remember that.
No, I take it back. She didn't say it. He said it while he was listening. That's what it was.
Right,
And then
yeah.
she was just like, yeah, it's a nice sound. Like it's really common.
Although,
sir.
I think that Carly should see a doctor because the color was very weird, and like the color of her
I thought it was
stream.
apple juice. Or
It looked
something.
right. It looked like a smoothie. No, Carly, drink more water, less wine, more water. Boo boo.
I mean, all of her clients were just weird, and then one of them had her just lay there. Don't blink. If you're gonna blink, just close your eyes. Like, just lay there. I guess everybody has different fetishes, but if I was Carly, I don't even know how I would react. Like, you're gonna tell me to lay there and then just close my eyes?
I mean, he paying for it.
Okay, and he looks like Alex Jones to me. Do you guys know who that is?
No.
From InfoWars, he looked like that.
Oh.
Whatever. That's scandalous.
I was like,
But I wondered if that was intentional in the casting choice because I was like, he looks just like Alex Jones, and ew. I mean, no judgment. I'm kidding. No judgment. Whatever you're into, as long as it's consensual.
Great. Like that also is I think also the big thing about the show, consent is important.
Yes.
Also the guy she was humiliating.
Ooh, she went in on him.
I mean, but some guys seriously are into that. That's the only way they can become aroused in that way. Is to be treated in that, way.
I don't even know if he really asked for that because the way she was going in, I said, I don't think he really, I think he said, just humiliate me a little bit. But she's talking about, well, oh, so small, I can't even see right there. Oh, well,
But no,
what you gonna do?
but as she was saying that, he went harder. Like he was
It's
just
true. He did
like,
seem to enjoy it.
He was
Yeah.
enjoying it. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry that it's so small. I can't even find it. Oh my gosh.
Like, gosh.
I'd be like, it's like a mini hot dog.
But that was definitely one of the laugh out loud moments for me.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I can't believe she's saying all that. And the thing is, I knew that was a fetish or a kink or something, but
Yeah.
but seeing it in action, okay then.
It really makes you like
Well, all right.
think about
well,
what's
right.
behind those curtains, you know?
You know?
Oh my gosh. Well, Carly had some time to catch up with Yuli, and they spoke a little bit on the phone while Yuli was at his at his job, and talked about how Yuli had this random like quickie with a married man
named Laylat. I know. Laylat. I legit. His name was Laylat, but he's like, my friends call me T.
I just call him T because that was a tough. I said no, T will do fine with me.
But no, I'm like, but your name is Layla, so do you lay a lot?
Ooh.
I need to know.
Apparently so, because he was there to deliver a package for Ford.
And he delivered a package.
To Yuli.
8 times. 8, count them.
8 times, but he goes in and says how he's married, how his wife is very religious. He used to be religious, but now he's no longer so religious. And I was like, okay, like, why is this pillow talk? Like, I don't understand him coming, my wife doesn't know about this. Like, a whole backstory. I said, sir, do what you're there to do.
I think they already did. They took a pause. Like, I think right at that moment, they were taking a pause.
But pillow talk for that? Like, let's talk about a show. Let's watch Netflix. Like, no, don't pillow talk with my wife. And then she's really, she would freak out. Okay, well, why are we talking about this? We already know what we're doing is horrible. Let's just talk about SpongeBob or something. I don't know.
Why are you bringing SpongeBob into it?
I know why. But continue.
No, but I'm just saying, like, okay, sir, like, all right. But they look like they had a good time. I'm wondering if he's still going to keep in contact with him. Just have him as a regular, like, buddy. I guess that's further along for our predictions. But I wonder if he might keep in contact with T.
Honestly, I feel like we saw him before.
Really?
Like, do you remember there was a scene, I think last week, where Yuli was somewhere and he saw that guy. He saw a guy and really looked at him. And so I thought that T was that guy. And I could completely have dreamt that. I have a very similar. I dream things that I don't remember where they were.
I was like, because I thought he thought that was Gabriel, but when he also blinked himself out of it, it was a girl sitting there enjoying a drink.
No, I feel like there was some other place, but I could be wrong. I have to go back and rewatch. But I don't know. I feel like the whole reason that we saw Yuli and T do their thing was to sort of highlight the fact that Yuli's not getting a relationship. He's not getting the thing that he wants with Gabriel. So I feel like that's why we saw him have this fling thing, because we still haven't gotten, like, Gabriel hasn't reappeared yet, right? So
I think it was also like an F you to, like, Gabriel, like, you ghosted me at 3 a.m, so now I'm gonna hook up with this guy. It's very attractive.
Right. But what about we didn't talk about the fact that the text exchange with Gabriel disappeared.
Right.
Yeah. Like, but did he dream it? It's still the question, because even she was like, how high are you?
And he do be having some crazy dreams, right? Like, Yuli really has crazy dreams. So, and he has prophetic dreams. So then we don't know, like, is this something that's gonna happen, or is it actually happening? I think that Gabriel, I'm going to not tell you because that's a prediction, and we have a part that's later in the show. I'm going to follow directions.
But, okay, if that's the case, then we're going to get to Yuli, like, talking to Carly and hearing screams, right? And first of all, you heard 2 to 3 screams, but you're still just, like, sitting, like, with the iPad in front of you, and Carly's looking at you trying to figure out what's going on, and you're not answering her, and you're just like...
Yeah, his response to it was to go like this. Like he's going to hide behind his iPad. Yeah, I don't understand.
I'll call you back. And so then he travels through the junkyard area, right? With the flashlight, mind you, calling, who's there? So, okay, this is my thing on
Tell
this,
us
okay?
how you feel, Shay.
Because... no shade to your race, but why do white people always, when they go searching, they want to also announce themselves and say, who's there? Okay, so now the direction you all are in, and now you know what direction I am in. If you're trying to sneak and be sneaky, you already got a flashlight. They kind of should see you coming with a flashlight to begin with. Even if it's dark and you still yelling, who's there? Maybe you should turn around and not be there no more. How about that? But then you also scared off the person, and you're just like, oh, there's something on the ground. Maybe I should go investigate whatever mess this is. No, why do you do this? So I have questions.
A mess.
You do have questions. And what was it?
That's the thing.
That is the thing. I don't know why.
What is this? Because he walks up there and he says that who's there, and it's just a homeless lady. And it's
that
like
pooped out something.
Some
Squatting
type of
over
thing-
some substance.
it was like she was giving birth, but it wasn't exactly something there. It was. I'm like, is it the placenta from the birth? Like, what is this?
It looked like goo, and it had like red bits in it,
Yeah.
and like maybe some things
Yeah.
that looked like eyeballs. I couldn't really.
I thought they were
tell.
eyeballs too. So it's just like,
Yeah.
is this a creature you just birthed? And then Yuli, why did you walk to it? I mean,
Word.
I mean, obviously you're a security guard at a junkyard, but that's also a time where you can just. I'm just gonna go back inside. I'm like, hey, boss man, so there's some sketchy
Exactly.
mess that happened outside. I don't know. How would you deal with that?
That's when you call it a popo. You don't just go investigating stuff. Like you
Yeah.
just gonna try to handle it, and you
Like, you're already high.
Already, yes.
You're already high.
Already been smoking.
Like, first of all, you gave them Ford's fee. So, like, if the cop come and they find out you're high, you're losing your job. So, I mean, that's also maybe a point why you wouldn't call the cops. But still,
I mean,
But I would have stayed right in that room.
Okay.
right? Oh, they okay? They ain't nobody really calling for help. They were just screaming. I'm gonna call Carly back. Hey, Carly. So you still drinking some wine, doing your nails in the kitchen. What were we talking about?
No, I definitely would have called the cops right then in that moment. Nope. Been on the phone with Carly. Talk about, girl, call the cops real quick because I'm stay on the phone with you. Can you call the cops from somebody else's phone, your neighbor's phone? Call someone, but I'm not going out there.
I'm like, call the cops. Okay, get sober. Get sober. How do I get sober? What's the quickest way? Oh, like where's ice? Like, I don't know what you would do.
No.
I
I'm
can't.
not going to play
Yuli.
around with that. And I'm wondering why it's always homeless people that he's interacting with, too, who are having this whole intergalactical, like, galaxy reptile thing.
Theory on that one is, if they're homeless, most people are not looking for them. So if you do want to
That's
take them or
true.
use them, they're easy pickings.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Nobody's searching for you.
That's true.
True.
But I don't know. I'm like, I don't know.
And also in a city like LA where we have such a large homeless population,
Right.
it seems like the perfect place for aliens to come and pick from people, which is terrible.
Yeah.
Stupid aliens preying on the homeless. Rude.
I don't even.
Stupid
I would get into that, but it ain't the show it's about.
Oh,
So.
no. Well, we also saw that while Yuli was on FaceTime with Carly, Yuli asked Carly, hey, do you want to go to this party that they got invited to from Ford? Ford is going to go to Palm Springs, which, still another red flag because it's like, Ford, you're going all these places. You should know that these are gay places. Palm Springs? But okay. All right. I mean, yes, everybody goes, but you're going to this director's house or the CAA agent's house and he's going for a party. He got invited. He's bringing his girlfriend, Sevi, bringing his friends. And I'm just a little worried about Ford because this is not looking too good for him. And then after... This to happen after he had to have Sevi pretty much give him a hand job because she was just not having it with sex at all because she's turned off. And I'm like, Ford, why don't you just really think about why would you invite your friends? You don't even know who's going to be there. How are you going to bring a +1 but then a +2 and 3? Like, we don't know if this party is closed. Oh,
Honestly,
my
I'm really
gosh.
glad that he's going to take people because he obviously does not know what's happening with Barnabas and Thor. Like, he really does not understand.
True.
Huh?
Otto.
Otto. What did I call him? Thor?
I thought I heard
I
Thor
mean,
too.
no, it is his name, but because we haven't met Thor, I was just like, oh, I think you mean Otto.
I think. Oh, there's a Thor too. So
Yeah.
I meant Otto.
I think Thor might be
Totally
the
meant-
CCA agent.
Yeah, Thor is a CCA.
Oh, okay.
agent.
So, well, but you're right. I meant Otto.
Yeah.
Like, and Ford doesn't have any sense about them. He doesn't really get what,
Yes.
and we don't totally know what they're trying to do, except maybe like seduce him. But
10 for 10.
can we before we like go too much further though, Severine had to she gave Ford
A hand job.
a
hand
hand job.
job.
We're allowed to say that. Okay, she gave Ford a
This is
hand
after
job.
dark.
It's after
Yeah,
dark.
it's after
Okay.
bus after
Okay.
dark. So
So we can say these things. I was a little bit scandalized by the fluid.
Oh, fluid, the
yes.
ejaculation.
The ejaculation. Thank you. I couldn't think of the medical term. I was very surprised by that. I don't think I've ever seen that on television that wasn't a porn. So I was like, I'm sitting across from Howard, and I legit was like, oh! Like I suddenly became like a Mormon or something and couldn't handle the scandalosity of it. Whew.
It was a bit much.
It was a lot.
Yeah. It was just.
I've seen American Pie. I'm okay.
I'm just wondering, like, no, seriously, have you seen that on television before?
I
I just told you.
On American Pie, they do?
That's a movie, though.
That's a movie.
I've seen it on television.
You seen it on television?
Oh.
Wow.
I haven't seen it on TV.
Well, you got them premium channels then.
We got the basic
okay,
cable over
basic
here.
cable, you don't see that. And
I don't see that on Channel 5.
She can watch Now Apocalypse at home, okay? Some of us don't
I'm
have
sorry,
the resources
so
for
you
that.
know.
It's not playing on Channel 5. All I have is the news and, the CW. So.
For me, what was weird about that was the color of it. I don't know. I feel like it should be like at least, I don't know, more white. Like that was just me.
I didn't really want to look at it that much.
It was just a weird color for me. That was about
There are
it.
a lot of weird colors and bodily fluids in this episode.
Oh my gosh, this episode is just so much. It's like I should be used to it, but I'm not. So let's move on to our fun fact that we have, our sex fun fact, because all we do is talk about sex all night.
Okay, guys. So today's sex fun fact is mostly because of what Carly was doing as a cam girl and all the different guys' fetishes. And like I said, fetishes and kinks are different, but the 11 most common sexual fetishes and what defines a fetish isn't what the activity or object of desire is so much as the role it plays in someone's life. A fetish is typically referred to as a behavior that someone cannot get sexually aroused without. Fetish can also be a term people use to describe a sexual arousal that is coupled with a typical non-sexual object, says sexologist and psychological Dents Rain. Hopefully we'll have the link up, but those 11 things are: number 1, impact play, like spanking, flogging, role playing, yes, Mr. Gray, foot fetish, self-explanatory, anal sex, also self-explanatory, lingerie that we women wear, or
That's
some
a
men as
fetish?
well, that is a fetish,
Interesting.
group sex, sensation play, orgasm control.
Wait, what does sensation play mean?
Sensation play is like if I was like had a feather and you're
that's nice.
blindfold,
Yes, thank
and
you.
that type of like it's more sensational. 8 is orgasm control. 9 is bondage. 10 is psychological play, which means more of a mind control, humiliation thing that Carly was doing with the guy. Is what a dom does to her sub. To like, you think that's gonna get me aroused? It's not gonna get me aroused. You gotta try harder. Like tricking the person's mind into thinking that they have to work harder and that they want it. And number 11 is voyeurism. That is a fetish as well.
Wow.
So, And also fetishes are definitely kinks are definitely different from each other. Fetish and kinks are also sometimes used in the same sentence as if they're like the same, but they're not. So like a kink is more of rope, I would say bondage rope, as in Japanese shibari. It's very beautiful. It's like if it's done correctly, and people who are doms actually train. They train to be a master at it.
Wow.
Because if you're done wrong, because you're tying I'm tying like rope from here all the way down your body. So if done wrong and you're not careful exactly where the knots are, it can cut off your circulation. It can do a lot of damage to you. So that's why you have to also train to do it.
So basically, don't try this at home, kids.
Yes,
Make sure you do your research first.
Yes.
Okay. Here at
Definitely.
AfterBuzz, we don't just entertain; we educate.
We educate, So if you're seriously, if you do want to get into this, definitely do your research. Do more than online research. Also try to maybe check out a sex club, check out classes, check out even seminars people actually do have. So I mean,
Meetup groups too.
meetup groups.
Love that. Well, thank you for keeping us educated with our sex fun facts. More quickly, let's get into some predictions. Woo. Okay.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
prediction. So, real quickly, next week's episode, I don't know. I'm just guessing that goo thing will be another baby, apparently. Maybe a baby coming from the homeless lady. Maybe an alien baby. I can see that happening, of course. And then with Ford in this whole Palm Springs thing, he'll finally open up his eyes to see that he's been played this whole time. It's going to be an orgy. It's going to be just, pretty much laid out there. This is gay people, gay men trying to approach you to have a good time. Finally, Ford.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think Ford and Severine are going to eventually break up. I don't think she can also keep what she wants, because when you're in a relationship, it is about compromise, but also if you're giving away something you really don't want to, that's really going to cause a strain on your relationship. Also, I think Yuli is going to find a new love interest and be in the relationship he's always wanted, versus just hooking up with random guys or married guys. Apparently, that's his thing. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Nikki?
I think Gabriel is going to come back, and we're going to finally see what and who Gabriel is. I'm looking forward to that. And I think that this trip to Palm Springs out in the desert is where, because aliens, they be out in the deserted areas. I know Palm Springs is not deserted, but I don't know. I think there's going to be some kind of interesting experience out there, something supernatural.
Ooh. Well, I'm excited for all of that. Let us know down in the predictions below on our YouTube page. What do you guys think? Or in the comments, below on our YouTube page. What do you guys think is going to happen next week? And of course, if you're listening to us on iTunes, please give us those 5 stars and review us there. Leave some comments there. And we're also on Spotify. So we moved on up so you can listen to us right there on Spotify. I'm one of your hosts here, Howard III. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Howard III. I also do the Keeping Up with the Kardashians after show a little bit before this time at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you watch us then on Sunday. Shay, where can we find you?
You can find me at Real Shay Jones on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on Tuesday, the season finale for Good Trouble at 8 p.m. But we're also going to do a live watch along. So watch along with us. Check our reactions. It's going to be fun. And on Thursdays, I do the Pretty Little Liars, the Perfectionist after show at 7 p.m.
Yes. Nikki?
And I am Nikki Baily. You can find me on the social medias at Nikki Baily _. I also am a host on the Happy AfterBuzz after show on Wednesday evenings and on Star Trek Discovery on Thursday night.
Yes. We will see you all next Sunday.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.